Earlier today, we received some massive breaking news. Conor McGregor has been found civilly liable of rape by a jury of his peers. Yes, you heard that correct. Conor McGregor is a civilly liable rapist, period. End of story. We're going to unpack that. There's a lot to unpack regarding this situation. Criminal versus civil. What does that mean in terms of consequences for Conor McGregor? We're going to discuss what this means for the future of Conor McGregor's UFC career and Dana White's reaction. We're going to discuss the MMA media, and more importantly, we're going to discuss the MMA community as a whole, because I've seen some abhorrent, disgusting, despicable remarks after Conor McGregor was found civilly liable of rape. And to top it all off, we're going to discuss Conor McGregor's checkered past, and even a clip from a couple months ago or earlier this year where Conor McGregor attempted to sexually assault somebody on video and nobody talked about it. He posted it on his Instagram story. I mentioned it in the video, but nobody even discussed it. And maybe it's a minor thing, but I'm going to point it out in this video because a lot of people are white knighting for Conor McGregor already. Let's jump right into it. We're going to start off with an article from the BBC. Woman wins civil rape case against Conor McGregor. Let's read. A woman who accused Conor McGregor of raping her has won her claim against him for damages in a civil case. A jury found that the Irish mixed martial arts fighter assaulted Nikita Hand in a Dublin hotel in December of 2018. He has been ordered to pay her more than 248,000 euros in damages. Now, we're going to read more of this article in a second, but that easily breaks down civil versus criminal. Criminal, you can go to prison, you can face other consequences. Civil, he's essentially just paying out monetary damages. Now, the main difference between criminal and civil is the burden of proof. For a criminal trial, for a conviction, you would need to be found, guilty of rape beyond a reasonable doubt. For a civil trial, the jury just has to determine, is it more likely than not you committed this crime? So a jury of Conor McGregor's peers, 12 peers, determined that Conor McGregor is civilly liable for rape, which means more likely than not, Conor McGregor raped Nikita Hand in a hotel in 2018. Now, if you scroll down in this article, you read more of this article, we'll jump down. Both men had denied the claims by the 35-year-old hair colorist and said they separately had consensual sex with Miss Hand at a hotel almost 6 years ago. So remember, Conor admitted to having sex with her, but he's saying he did not rape her. We're gonna get to something else in a second. After 8 days of evidence and 3 days listening to closing speeches, the judge's comments, and the jury of 8 women and 4 men spent 6 hours and 10 minutes deliberating before returning its verdict, which is that he is found civilly liable for rape. That is the verdict. They determined that he is more than likely raped Nikita Hand. I don't know how many times I can say that. That is the difference between civil and criminal. Conor McGregor will not go to prison. Conor McGregor will not go to jail. He will just have to pay damages with right now, it is 248,000 euros. Okay? So that's civil versus criminal. Now, I want to look at the reaction from Nikita Hand as well as Conor McGregor. And there's multiple things I want to unpack. So first off, we're going to look at Nikita Hand's statements outside the court after Conor McGregor was found civilly liable. Listen to this.
To all the victims of sexual assault, I hope my story is a reminder that no matter how afraid you might be, speak up, you have a voice, and keep on fighting for justice. I know this has impacted not only my life, my daughters, my family and friends tremendously, and it's something that I'll never forget for the rest of my life. But now that justice has been served, I can now try and move on and look forward to the future with my family and friends and daughter.
Nikita, what is it?
And then she answers some questions. Clearly emotional, clearly, kind of happy and vindicated that Conor McGregor was found civilly liable, because technically it's not guilty. Guilty is a criminal verdict. Civilly liable is a civil verdict. I want to start off with something that's really been bothering me because, once this woman, has been posted in the media, pictures of her during the proceedings and the video afterwards, and her face has been on different articles after Conor was found civilly liable. I've seen an abhorrent reaction from the MMA community, and this video is already going to be demonetized. I think a lot of MMA content creators will probably steer away from this because it won't make them any money. I don't care about that. If you want to support this video, you can leave a super thanks down below, but you don't need to, okay? I've seen a large portion of the MMA community, and I've seen this multiple times, and I haven't even looked that hard. Conor McGregor would rape her? They are insulting her appearance. Good thing this video is already demonetized. if you were one of these people who are saying Conor would rape her, look at her. Look at her. Oh, yeah, I don't think Conor would rape her. Have you seen her? Fuck you, you piece of shit. You're a fucking piece of shit bitch. Like, if you hear that, you know what? A jury of 12 of Conor McGregor's peers listened to 8 days of evidence and 3 days of closing arguments. Again, let's reference the article back here. Okay? Right here. 8 women, 4 men spent 6 hours and 10 minutes deliberating. But after 8 days of evidence and 3 days of listening to closing speeches, 11 days. If after hearing that, they determined with the evidence that more than likely he raped her, your first initial reaction is, man, she's ugly. Who would rape her? First off, let me just say this. Half of the people saying that probably never even fucked a girl that looks this good. Okay? And I'm not even saying she looks crazy good. I'm just saying you're probably fucking nasty pigs, okay? All right? Ugly ass women. And you're criticizing this woman's appearance because think about this. Think about what a bitch you are. Thank God this is demonetized already. Who knows? This might not even be able to be put up. You are looking at Conor McGregor's appearance. You're looking at his net worth and you're going to be like, yeah, he can get so much better. What? You're thinking about Conor McGregor having sexual intercourse and the appearance of what women he may be able to get and what he may not be able to get. Despicable, disgusting, ridiculous that your first instinct when a civil verdict is read that is not good for Conor McGregor is to insult the looks of the victim. Disgusting and despicable. We'll get to more of the MMA community in a little bit. Let's read Conor McGregor's statement. Conor McGregor, I will be appealing today's decision. The judge's instruction and the modest award given was for assault, not for aggravated or exemplary damages. I am disappointed that the jury did not hear all the evidence that the DDP reviewed. I am with my family now, focused on my future. Thank you all, my support worldwide. So, I mean, basically, that's a typical PR statement. Thank you for your support. I'm appealing it. I'm not guilty, basically. That's what Conor McGregor is saying. You know, there's really not much to take away from this, but I'll tell you this right now, and a lot of people aren't going to give you their honest opinion. Conor McGregor is consistently drunk, consistently high. He admitted during the trial that he was doing cocaine in his hotel room or in the hotel room with Nikita Hand and others. Conor is rich and powerful, and he's the type of guy that can't take no for an answer. Okay? That's my impression of Conor McGregor, especially the Conor McGregor we've seen over the past few years. That's my impression of Conor McGregor. He hasn't taken no for an answer. But one thing I want to highlight for all the white knighters for Conor McGregor is both men had denied the claims by 35-year-old hair colorist and said they separately had consensual sex with Miss Hand. So it's not whether or not Conor McGregor and Nikita Hand had sex, it's whether or not it was consensual or not. Now, throughout the trial, it was stated that when she was taken to the hospital, she had bruising all over her body. But that's not it, okay? Remember, Conor admitted he had sex with her. Watch this. Check this out. McGregor also denied Hand's claim that she had a tampon lodged deep inside her during intercourse. Medical workers previously testified forceps were used to remove a tampon during her visit to her local emergency room. You guys hear that? Forceps were used to remove a tampon during her visit to the emergency room. A medical worker testified. He's admitting that he had consensual sex with her. There's a tampon lodged deep in her that they had to use a device, a medical device, to remove it from inside of her. I mean, that sounds pretty damning to me. Combined with all the bruises on her body, combined with the fact that Conor's drunk and high. And Conor consistently puts himself in these situations. He's a guy that has more sexual assault allegations over the last 8 years than wins. He has more sexual assault allegations than he has title defenses. This guy is getting accused of sexual assault every other day, and you can say what you want. None of them have ever, led to any consequences. I don't think this is Conor's first time. Now, that's pure speculation. That's the vibe Conor McGregor gives me. I smell it on him. He's a guy who's rich and powerful, who thinks he can get whatever he wants. I'm just surprised he was held to account here. But a jury of 12 of his peers deemed that more than likely he raped Nikita Hand. That is a fact. That is what we have right now. That's pretty damning. And there's people out there defending him. Which makes me sick. And that's why I want to discuss some of the checkered past of Conor McGregor. We're not going to get into a lot. I just want to show you guys this because this should have been the end of Conor from the very beginning. Okay, when this happened, this should have been the end of Conor. Conor tried to get an old man to drink some of his alcohol at a bar, at a pub, and this old man refused. Here's Conor McGregor right here. Here's the old man. Watch this. Watch what he does. This is ridiculous. Watch the old man turn away. Conor sucker punches him with a left hand. This is like a 55-year-old man. This is like a late 20s, early 30s Conor. I mean, that's not even taking into account all the other allegations and, you know, things that maybe he didn't ever get tried in any courts, but looked very damning. And also, this was released. Masked men invaded Nikita Hand's home earlier this year. Okay? The woman who accused Conor McGregor and his friend of rape moved this year after her property was invaded by a group of men wearing, I forgot how to pronounce this, but it's basically masked, who stabbed her partner and broke her windows. It can now be reported. Now, full disclosure, lawyers for Nikita Hand told the High Court before a civil action against McGregor and James Lawrence began that they were not making the claim that McGregor had anything to do with the incident at her house. It's just awfully suspicious. She makes this accusation. There's ties of Conor McGregor to organized crime in Ireland, and she's having her house broken into and her partner stabbed. And then, if you look back, a woman who accused that Conor McGregor assaulted her and threw her off a boat, she had her car firebombed. Okay, and this there's so much more. So this isn't just coincidence for Conor McGregor. Okay, it seems like anyone that tries to hold him to account, he tries to get retribution. And again, there's no evidence. Okay, I got to be very clear. There's no evidence that Conor McGregor torched her car. There's no evidence that he had anything to do with this home invasion. I'm just saying it looks horrible, and someone rich and powerful like Conor, who has connections to organized crime, I mean, it's just worth putting out there, okay? It's worth putting out there. Now, is this going to have any effect on his UFC career? Well, where is his UFC career right now? We're going to come back and look at some other stuff here in a second. Is this going to have any effect on Conor McGregor's UFC career? Dana White is most likely going to try to brush this under the rug. The MMA media is barely going to ask Dana White about it. They didn't even ask him about it at UFC 309's post-fight when the trial was ongoing. There was not a single question other than, when do you see Conor McGregor returning? Which he said late 2025. And, I mean, look at the past. I mean, Greg Hardy is signed. John Jones, people say I take up for John Jones even though I don't. I'm just saying we don't have, you know, the amount of evidence that we have for Conor McGregor, even though it looks horrible for John Jones as well. John Jones has gotten off scotch-free for all the things he's done throughout his UFC career. UFC has never punished him. You know, they moved an entire event for him because he was pausing, okay? He hit a woman, and he hit and ran a pregnant woman. And by the way, nobody will say this either. I believe he was intoxicated. That's why he ran. He didn't want to test positive, or he didn't want to be, you know, get a drinking and driving charge. It was worth it to have the hit and run rather than being drunk at the scene of the crime and causing bodily harm, okay? That all just got brushed under the rug. You think for 1 second Dana White's going to say, I don't want one more paycheck from a Conor McGregor pay-per-view or 2 more paychecks from a Conor McGregor pay-per-view? No. Nope. And the media is just going to bow down like they typically do. They're not going to press Dana. They're not going to, you know, really push for answers. They're not going to push for any UFC punishment. But the fact that he's been found more than likely than have not to have raped Nikita Hand, and the UFC is just going to say, I mean, does he sell pay-per-views? Does he sell pay-per-views? That's all Dana White cares about. So no, I don't think anything's going to happen with the UFC. There's a couple other things I want to take a look at because Conor McGregor is a despicable human being. One thing I want to look at is this is a video that I covered in a previous video. This is what Conor posted on his Instagram story months and months ago. He literally tries to sexually assault a woman in a bar here. Watch this. I'm not playing the video. There's music. There's loud music playing. He literally tries to pull this woman's tit out. Watch. And she literally like covers up and moves away. This is literally attempted sexual assault by Conor McGregor. Look at that. I'm going to rewind it real quick just so you can see it again. Look what he tries to do here. And that woman immediately grabs her dress and moves away. Now, we don't know truly who that is and what was going on, but this just shows the type of guy that Conor McGregor is. Not to mention everything else. I mean, punching an old guy in a bar. I mean, sexual assault after sexual assault allegation. And now he's finally held to an account. And the MMA community's reaction to this is just despicable. There's so many people, I already talked about it earlier in the video. There's so many people saying, yeah, Conor McGregor's rich. He's going to rape her. First off, it was 6 years ago. This happened in 2018. This was 6 years ago. You don't even know what she looked like back then. And first off, why are you attacking her appearance at all? It's none of your business, okay? At the end of the day, the evidence, according to the jury, said that he was liable for this rape, okay? Then people are saying, oh, she just wanted money. There was previously reported that somebody was turning down out of court settlements. Now, the way the Irish media is very weird and they can't publish people's names, but it is believed that Conor McGregor offered Nikita Hand multiple settlements outside of court. So for me, if I start, using my critical thinking skills, I'm like, wait a second. So she could have had a settlement outside of court. She spent 6 years of her life trying to make Conor McGregor pay, all for 248,000 euros. That doesn't sound like it's worth it at all, unless you want to hold a rapist accountable. And that's what it seems like she wanted. So for people out there to say, oh, she's definitely lying. You got motherfuckers out there saying she's definitely lying. You know more than what a jury of 12 of Conor's peers, who sat painstakingly through 12 days of evidence and 3 days of closing arguments, you know better than them. I just find that hard to believe. And again, I showed you the one example that I needed to know. Oh, he admitted that he had sex with her. Maybe there was no way to cover that up, okay? That he had to admit that. But, I didn't rape her. There was bruises all over her body. She went immediately to like a rape center. She went immediately to a hospital. She had a tampon removed from her by a doctor or a nurse. If that doesn't sound damning, I don't know what does. And there's people out there blaming the victim. Somehow blaming the victim. She just wanted money. Well, she could have taken out of court settlement if she just wanted money, because Conor was offering him probably more than 248,000 euros. She goes through all this trouble just so she can get 248,000 euros. Okay. I find that hard to believe. I find her accusations, well, now they're not really accusations anymore. I guess he's not found guilty. You get my point. I find it to be very credible based on what I read from the Irish media covering the case and all the circumstances surrounding it and Conor McGregor's character. As Dana White says, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. He was talking about Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou's a bad guy. Meanwhile, he's got Conor McGregor out there raping up a storm. It's just despicable. And the MMA community is really aggravating me, just defending this man, white knighting for a man they never met. You have people out there claiming he's definitely innocent. He's definitely innocent. There's no way he did this. She wasted 6 years of her life to hold Conor McGregor accountable for what he did. 6 years of his life, of her life, to hold this man accountable. And the other guy was found to be, innocent, I guess, if that's the right wording. It's not a criminal trial, but he was found not liable. So the evidence was enough to find Conor McGregor civilly liable for rape, but not the other guy. So I don't think the jury's just out to get Conor because he's rich and famous. No, what they saw met the burden of proof to say that Conor McGregor should have to pay this woman, okay? And just because it wasn't charged in criminal court, apparently in the Ireland courts, a lot of sexual assault allegations don't end up going to court because they don't believe they have enough evidence. In this case, Nikita Hand wanted to go to a criminal court, but never got that. She never even got that trial, okay? So she forced it in civil court because she wanted to hold this man accountable. She wanted this stain to follow his name for the rest of his life. And if he did do this, he's a total piece of shit. I mean, disgusting human being. And the UFC should never put him in another fight again. You know what? To top it all off, the MMA community is an embarrassment. The MMA media is going to bow down to Dana and the UFC and barely cover it, barely ask about it. But to top it all off, you got Michael Chandler sucking Conor McGregor's dick the other day. Oh, Conor's so romantic. And this, you're talking about a rapist, a civilly liable rapist. And Chandler's out there sucking him off. He's so romantic about the sport. And Conor McGregor needs to come back and he needs to fight me. How, in retrospect, how hilarious is it that Chandler ruined his career in his late 30s waiting for a dude who's out there raping people? He wants Conor to come back and fight him. He wants to fight this guy. He wants this guy to get a fight. And this guy prances around, Mr. Christian, Mr. Holy, and now he wants a rapist to come back and fight him. I mean, Chandler, in retrospect, karma really got him. But ultimately, I think if Conor ever does return to the UFC, which I still don't believe he's going to return to the UFC, Dana White and the UFC will open him with welcome arms. They will probably not, it won't be till late 2025 anyway, which Dana has already said. At that point, this will all blow over, and a lot of the MMA media and fans will have forgotten about it. A lot of the fans will defend Conor like, he's their brother. And it's just despicable. It's completely despicable. I have no doubt, to be honest, if we're being honest about, personal thoughts, I have no doubt that Conor raped her, okay? Which a court found him civilly liable. And also, it's probably not his first time. Now, that's complete speculation. We don't have evidence on that. But the personality that Conor McGregor shows, that we see out in public, and the way he acts and the people that, he surrounds himself with, it doesn't seem that much out of character. It doesn't seem that much out of character. Well, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. This video isn't going to get monetized, so if you can like it, share it, watch it from beginning to end, which if you're at the end now, you already watched it from beginning to end. So thank you very much, and I'll see you guys in the next video.